about like what can be proven real, right? So like who
Sure.
cares what someone believes? Like it matters what can you prove is real. And we can prove like Christianity is true.
Please demonstrate that for me. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, facts facts require a story. You can't have a fact without a story behind the fact. And so the necessary story for any fact would be the story of the Bible. And to deny that, you'd be making a counterclaim that some other story makes facts true. But there is nothing that can do that.
I don't understand what you mean by facts require a story. Explain that to me.
Facts require context. So like if you go to walk into a movie halfway through the movie and you see a character sneaking in, you wouldn't be able to interpret the correct facts without the context of like the beginning of the movie because you might assume it's a villain sneaking into a house, but maybe it's like the hero sneaking in to like rescue a hostage. So facts require context, like a story, and the story of the Bible is necessary context for any fact
I
to be a
think
fact.
you I think I think you and I maybe disagree on what facts are versus what a theory is. So a fact
No.
in my well, let me if I may just tell you what I the way I perceive a fact. That way we can make sure that we're having speaking the same language. Isn't a fact just a thing that we observe?
Yeah.
Okay, so that doesn't require a story. I can say that all steel bars sink. If I throw a steel bar in a pool, that steel bar is going to sink. That's a fact.
When we observe something, we observe things through, we like use our reason to observe, right?
You use your faculties.
You use
You
reason.
your well, your
This isn't,
reason is going to be
bro.
where theories or
Okay.
hypotheses come in.
Okay. Okay. So this isn't controversial, right? This is a scientific fact that humans interpret reality through stories. That's how we interpret the world. That's not
Correct. We don't
controversial.
interpret facts that way. But I agree.
Yes.
Humans interpret reality in,
Okay,
in that way.
sir. This isn't controversial. Humans interpret facts through stories. This is not controversial. You can't disagree with this. You'd be irrational, like a flat earther.
See,
Disagree.
I
And
don't
I agree.
understand
So you need
why
to.
you aren't like arguing from a position. You're kind of just saying like you're being super careful right now. You know, I don't understand why you're not like arguing for your position because we're here to like debate. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, perfect. Well, I wasn't. I was just when I was talking about the first notion here. I was just talking about the way that you guys are speaking about the gods. You also have. Oh, I'm sorry. The live is paused.
I can hear
Did we
you.
pause? Was that me?
Nah, I
Oh, okay.
heard you. I heard you.
I'd be happy to disagree with one of your subjects here.
Well, I was already. I mean, I was
I'm
prove.
sorry.
I was proving Christianity is true. You didn't really
Yeah,
respond to
oh, I'm
that.
sorry. Yeah, please. Then I missed it. If you did that, I
Yeah.
it totally went by me. Please
The
tell me how Christianity is
remember
true.
stories. We need a story for facts. The story of the Bible is necessary for facts. So if you reject that, you're making a counterclaim that some other story makes facts true. But like, what would that be?
I'm sorry. Someone was talking to me. Say that one more time. I apologize.
Facts aren't neutral. Facts require a story because we
No,
have.
facts are neutral. The story is what's not neutral.
This is not true. I can demonstrate this, right?
Please demonstrate that to me.
Okay. To observe reality, we need logic to observe reality because things have to have an identity. Before you even observe anything, it has to have an identity. You can't observe something without an identity. So we have
I
to.
I don't understand what do you okay. What are you
The
saying?
law, the first law of logic is the law of identity. When you observe
Yes.
something, it must have an identity because you can't observe something with no identity. So logic has to be true in order to observe anything. So that's like a framework or like a story
I
through
agree that
which
logic. I agree that logic is an axiom. That I agree with that premise.
we're not
Yes.
talking about axioms. I'm talking about the story. So logic is a story, right? So I have a story of how I use logic, right? So in my story, God of the Bible is the source of logic. He designs me in his image. My mind is made in the image of the mind of God, so I can use logic. That's like my story. So
You would
you're
have to use.
using,
You would have to hold on.
excuse me, you're
Yes, please.
using logic based on a different story that's not of the Bible. So
No,
what would be your
no,
story?
you would have to no, you would have to use logic to interpret your first story. So your logic is an axiom.
Okay. We're not talking about axioms because to even have an axiom,
No, you're saying that logic that you can interpret the Bible in this way because and logic
sir,
tells this story. That's not a true statement. Logic is you would have to have logic to even start with that idea.
sir, we start with God's revelation. So we start with God.
So you're a presuppositionalist.
Yes, I reason from God's revelation. You
How
do
how
not
would you
reason from God's revelation. So we have competing stories of how we interpret facts. But the problem is your competing story collapses and depends on my story. So your view is parasitic upon my view.
that's incorrect.
Why?
Because logic is an axiom. For you to have this presuppositional idea, for
Okay,
you
you're
to
not.
even
This is going over your head. I don't know. This is just going over your head. You don't understand.
Everybody presupposes, right? You realize that.
You just keep saying blah blah axiom. This has nothing to do with axioms. I'm
yes, it
asking you.
is.
You said
It's
No, it
logic is
because
an
doesn't.
how
axiom.
can you how
Because
can you
look, sir.
claim that God? Can I
Before
ask you a question? Let me. I want to stick with this point.
okay, but when you ask the question, it proves my my argument. Go ahead.
You don't even know what the question is, so you're
Yeah,
already
but your question and to ask
presupposing.
a
You're
question
already
would prove.
presupposing that
Yeah,
I'm going
but
to prove your
to
argument.
ask a question would prove my argument because only in the Christian worldview do we have an absolute, so that your
How do
words
you know
have
that that's true?
meaning. Well, tell me what's the absolute
How do
that's
you
not the
know that
Christian
that
God?
what you just said is true?
Because only the Christian God is a revealed absolute.
That's a claim. That's not telling me how you know it.
I am telling you, it's
No,
revealed.
that is a that is, okay. That's a claim. How do
No,
you know this thing?
it's
And by the
revealed.
way, okay, so so you
God
are
entered the source of existence and truth is a person who entered into human
so
history
he
and
revealed it.
creation.
He revealed it to you, correct?
And he speaks to us.
Did he
Yes.
reveal it to you?
He revealed it objectively to everyone.
Everybody.
Okay,
It's not just
re
us.
okay, I'm just fine to all of us, whatever. But he revealed it to you, correct?
Everyone.
And also everyone is also you, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so are you infallible?
No.
Can you be wrong?
Can you defend your
I'm
position?
asking a question.
Can I
Can
be
you be
wrong? Yes,
wrong?
I can be wrong. Yes. Can you defend your
Okay, then
position?
how can you know how can you know that what you're interpreting this God to say is true?
Because when
Because
you because
it's filtered through your mind.
no, it's revealed. So you're forcing
Okay,
your
but
when you
it's
say it,
filtered. You're saying that it's not filtered through your mind?
stop. When you say it's filtered through my mind, that's
Yes.
your worldview where you believe human reason is ultimate. But that's not my view. My view is that God's reason is ultimate, right? So I think that everything in my mind is ultimately filtered through the mind of God. For example, when you say, could you be wrong? Did you say, could you be wrong? Did you know that a human mind can't define what it means to be wrong? So that sentence is parasitic on my view because only the mind of God can
The
define what it means.
human
Can a
mind
human mind
can't
define right?
define
Can a
what's
human mind
wrong.
define good and wrong? Yeah. Can
Yes,
a human
yes,
mind define right and wrong?
yes,
Really? How does that work?
yes.
Because What is your objective standard for right and wrong? That's based on a human mind, which would completely be a contradiction.
Well, what you're saying is that I can't know this because I'm fallible, and
What
I'm
I'm
saying you
saying is
can't know
that,
your that your
sir,
revealed truth
sir,
is
sir, wouldn't right and wrong depend on an objective standard? Because if you don't have an objective standard,
no.
then oh, really? So right and wrong depends on a subjective standard.
Correct. That's the
Okay,
way that we work right now.
so then anything can be true.
No.
Why not?
Why can't anything be true? Because you have certain axioms that say that these
Okay,
things are not true, and you live in a social world, and you're a social being, and people agree on what's true and what's not true.
but it
That's what
doesn't
it is
matter
being
if
social.
everyone, if we all agree that Christianity is true. Is Christianity true?
No.
Okay,
If we
so
all
that
agree,
isn't that a
if we
direct
all agree
Isn't that, how is
slavery is
that?
true, if
How come you can agree on things and then that makes them true, but like me and my friends here, we can't agree that Christianity is true. That doesn't make Christianity true. What's the difference?
we're not talking now about morality. We've moved on to Christianity being true, and
They're all interconnected. To say
no,
anything is right and wrong
morality versus Christianity has nothing to do with each other.
in
But
Christianity, yes, it does.
no, it doesn't.
The
So if
Christian
we're
God is
talking
what we
about
use to define what's good. So
how do you do that,
it's a revealed objective standard of the mind of God.
and that's filtered through your mind, which could be, you said, fallible, which could be wrong.
Okay, but it doesn't matter if I'm fallible because
Yes, it does, because the revealed truth.
the position, so that would be a straw man. So the
I'm not
revealed truth
strawmanning your position. You said that this is revealed to you in some
is revealed to
fine, but
you.
it's not revealed to me. So I don't
Okay,
believe it.
defend that. Defend that then.
I'll defend it right now. I don't believe it.
So what? So then, if okay, but so then if okay, but to believe in anything, there would have to be real minds and things that really exist, right?
So now we're talking about solipsism. Do you
We're
believe
talking
you're
about your
laying a vow?
position. We're talking about. I'm trying to want you to defend your position because you said God didn't reveal Himself to you, but yet you believe your mind is real and that things really exist, don't you?
I believe that that is the only belief I can have
So, for
in
your mind
this.
to be real and for things to really exist, there would have to be some self existing necessary reality, or else you would have an infinite regress of dependent realities. So, what would be the self existing necessary reality that's not the revealed
What
Christian God?
I don't understand what you're saying there. You just said a bunch of
Your
words.
mind, your mind and things existing, there's dependent things that exist and your mind would be dependent, so you need something that
There's
exists.
dependent things that exist, such as.
Your mind and anything that exists is going to be
Okay, so
dependent.
in this, if we're talking about solipsism, then you're correct. The only thing that would have to exist, the only dependent thing would be my mind, and
Nothing could exist.
your
Nothing
God would
could
have
exist.
nothing to do with that.
Nothing could exist without a self-existing necessary reality because you would have an infinite regress of dependent realities. So you couldn't.
I don't
You're
I don't understand your claim.
even your solipsism is going to be parasitic on my view. So everything you say, all
No,
your thoughts,
solipsism is the idea that my mind is a
which
brain
is
of thoughts.
parasitic on my view, because you're
No, it
gonna.
isn't.
Well, then what? Well, what would ground the existence of anything?
What grounds the existence of anything?
What's the self-existing necessary reality that would have to exist to ground any existence?
Dude, you're talking word salad. You're not
I'm
making
just
any.
pointing
Your
out that
question it's insuperable. You're not making sense with your question.
there's dependent realities and there's independent realities. So for there to be dependent reality, there has to be an independent reality. So like, what would be the independent reality?
I'm fine to say I don't know.
Okay, and when you say I don't know, that would be a concession to the argument I've been making this
No, it's
entire time.
not. No, it's
Okay,
not, because what you're saying is you do know, and I'm saying you can't prove that. Demonstrate it.
I keep saying that your view is parasitic on my view, and when you said
That's a claim. That's not a demonstration.
The demonstration was when you said, I don't know. That demonstrates that your view collapses without the Christian God.
No,
So whether
that just demonstrates that I'm willing to say I don't know a thing.
you
And
admit it
that's
or not,
fine, but you're saying you know and you're making claims
it demonstrates
that are not true, that you can't demonstrate.
that your view is parasitic on mine. Except like
No,
when
it
you say
isn't. Tell me how that demonstrates that my view is parasitic on yours.
yeah, when you say prove it, you're standing on God's ground because to prove something, logic would have to be.
Another claim, more babble. It's another claim. You're
It's
not
it's actually an
demonstrating anything.
axiom. It's
Well, then
actually
how do you demonstrate something with if logic isn't real or meaningful when
I
grounded in the word of
already
God?
said logic is an axiom.
Yeah, but I'm
logic
asking you
itself.
what makes it real
Wait,
and
wait, wait,
meaningful.
wait. Are you saying that
Logic,
logic itself is an axiom?
Saying it's an
correct.
axiom doesn't make it
That's
real and
false.
meaningful.
That's false.
That is not
Logic is
false.
a system of reasoning.
Correct. It's an
Logic
axiom.
itself is a system of no, that's not true.
He
Correct.
means brute
Yes.
fact.
It's one.
He means brute fact.
No, what I'm also saying is that for us to identify anything as true or false, logic has to be the first premise. So
Okay.
the first
But how do
premise
we know
is
logic? How do
the
we know
first
logic?
premise
How
is
do we
an
know logic is
axiom.
necessary? Did logic tell you it's necessary?
For you to answer that question, you'd have to have logic.
Well, because God told me he was necessary, so I know God's necessary and I'm not just bullshitting you.
Sure,
Surely you're like care
I'm
about the
sure you're
truth.
very sincere on this
Well,
idea,
sure, I'm sure you care
but
about the truth. Like,
for you to even say what you just said, you would have to have logic as a part of that axiom.
did logic tell you that?
For me to say yes to that, I would have to use logic. So yes,
Okay, so logic told you that logic is necessary.
logic didn't tell me anything. That's a dumb way to
Then
say
how
it,
do you
but
know that
yes,
logic is
logic,
necessary?
because for you to identify anything as true or false, you have to have logic.
Okay, but
Even with your idea of God.
did logic tell you that?
That's a really dumb way to say it.
Why? Because my God told me he's
Because
necessary.
logic doesn't tell anybody
But do you
anything.
see?
You use logic to come up
Yo,
with to come
But
up
don't you
with your
understand that my God told me that he was necessary for
I'm
logic?
sure that you
You're
believe
saying
that,
yours,
and
sure, sure.
the way that you would identify that is
So you're saying that logic is necessary, but logic didn't tell you it's necessary. Do you see how like I can know my God's necessary because my God told me he's necessary? Logic didn't tell you it's necessary. Do you see the problem that you're in?
see, no. A big problem here is an axiom is a basic starting assumption in a particular system, right? And logic itself is a system of reasoning.
This guy's just
Logic,
bickering.
logic itself is not an axiom. You are like categorically false on that. Like
look that up.
definitionally,
You
you
should
are
look that up.
definitionally wrong on that. I just did.
Please read it off.
Logic,
It's
logic
a
is a
system
system
of
of
coming
reasoning,
up. Correct.
The systems
and
Identify.
contain.
an
And how
axiom
would
is a
how would,
basic starting assumption in a particular system.
which is using
Exactly.
logic.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's saying.
Yeah, you don't understand this. You don't
All right.
understand this at all.
I mean,
Okay.
I was trying to be nice to him. You're right, Miss Pa. The guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I was trying to be nice to him, but he's like really arrogant and he thinks he knows everything. So it's hard to reason with. It's like talking to a flat earther.
Yeah, no. If you think logic itself is an axiom, I can't continue the conversation.
So
I can't
God,
debate that. I can't debate. I can't debate that at all.
God would be the necessary precondition to have an axiom. Without God, you couldn't have an axiom. But
How could you prove whether or not your God is true or not without logic?
no,
Good counter argument. Thanks, guys.
yeah, you got me. Damn, look, he ran away. He ran
Well,
away.
we need logic, and logic requires God. What's the problem with that?
He's gonna clip that. He ran away. I'm literally gonna, dude. I'm like
Yeah, this dude is crazy, bro.
he's like
He's
trying to
saying
get, yeah, he's trying to get a
logic is an
gotcha.
axiom. Like it's just definitionally false.
Yeah, his
I'm
gotcha.
not.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm not gonna debate stupidity. It's just that's
Who's
just
yours?
absurd.
He was really stupid.